Hey YouTube. Oh my gosh. Hey guys. What is up? I am going to unbury myself. Today's video, we're doing an unboxing of boxes from the Boxery. So let's jump right in. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Jessica and I am the owner and doer of all things for Round Town Candle Co. And I am definitely excited about this video because let's be real, small business owners, we need to do, all business owners, not just small, but speaking from being a small business owner, we need to find every way possible to minimize our expenses and maximize our profit. And shipping is something that is just, it can get very expensive, and I see in the Facebook groups all the time people talking about shipping. Everything from why is it taking so long to why does it cost so much and what can I do to improve my cost. So today I want to talk about having another option for shipping. Now, when I started my business, I did what I think a lot of people do. I went to Uline's website, requested a catalog. They send you like that big juicy book that you can go through, and I started ordering boxes out of the catalog, went online and ordered the boxes. And first of all, I love Uline. That's where my stainless work tables come from. I now have 4 of them. They are not cheap, but they are absolutely worth every penny, and I love them. I use them and abuse them, and they still look brand new. So this is not anything against Uline as a company, but we need to shop around and we need to be smart. So the Boxery reached out to me to see if I would want to try some of their products, and I'm super grateful for that because I'm going to be honest with you, I have not heard of the Boxery. So isn't it crazy? It's like that even with fragrance oil companies. It just all of a sudden you'll hear of one you've never heard of and they're amazing. So thank you so much to the Boxery. This is awesome. I got some really great supplies I want to talk about. I went on their website and it's super easy. You can scroll through their catalog. They have boxes, they have padded mailers, they've got bubble wrap and different inserts and tape and dispensers and all the things that you really need for shipping. And so I wanted to look at a couple of the things that I got and kind of share them with you. I have not even opened this stuff yet, so I wanted to wait until we were doing a video. So the first thing I got, which I think is really great, is this is just paper. This is just plain paper, like a newspaper type paper, and it is perforated, which is awesome, so you can pull out sheets. So, when we're packaging, a lot of times it can be difficult to get our items secured. Candle makers, we're shipping a lot of glass, a lot of items that are fragile, and so to have good packaging is an absolute must. This type of paper is perfect. It's great to wrap your candle in if you don't have it in a box, or it's really good just to stuff around the sides of a box to just kind of help secure things. So I like that this comes in the box. It's really nice because I can just keep it in the box like this, and I can keep it closed up when I'm not using it so that I can keep dust and whatever off of it, kind of keep it protected. But it's great because you can just tear off one sheet or you can bring out, several. So this will be awesome. Another tip is if you want to add just a little bit of a personalized touch, I have my logo stamps that I've purchased off of Zazzle, and the stamp and a stamp pad, and it's super easy. You can just take that and just hit it a few different times. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, all over, but if you just hit 4 or 5 times around there with your logo, suddenly you have this personalized wrapping. And even when you crumble it up or wrap it up or stick it in there or whatever, when people pull that out, they're gonna see that. So super affordable way to kind of jazz up your packaging. So this box is awesome. There's no doubt I'm gonna use this. And the other thing I got, which I have not used before, I've seen it, but I've just not purchased it. And that is, let's see if I can get this tape open up here. That is gonna be the box in a box. So this is one that I've always been interested in but haven't used before, and I've seen a lot of other people use it, and even people that I have purchased from, other candle makers, and that is this honeycomb paper. And so let's take a look. This is super cool, all right, because it's in a roll inside the box. So you can literally just pull it and it'll come out of the box. So I like the way that they have these things in the boxes so that you don't have to fumble around with a roll or set it down and it unravels across the floor. This is that nice paper that you put on there and then you just pull it open, you know, and it kind of has this honeycomb. So that's nice too for packaging up candles or whatever kind of goods that you've got to ship. So awesome. And then finally, we'll just open up one of these packages. I'm not going to open up both of them. This is how it ships with all of this wrap. So let's see if it can be done easily. Maybe I should have done this before filming. All right, we're going to grab some scissors and make this a little safer. So like I was saying though, I mean, you know, we have crazy costs. A lot of the products that we buy, you know, if you are not fortunate enough to have a supplier near you within a driving distance, you know, we're buying wax, we're buying boxes of wicks, we're buying all these pounds and pounds of fragrance oils, and all of that stuff adds up, and it adds up weight. Which then obviously is going to add into cost. So, you know, we need to try to find ways to help ourselves out when it comes to that, just to try to make life a little easier and our profits a little better. So I am going to tell you that opening this up here, the first stack of boxes, these are just your regular boxes, you guys. There's nothing any different as far as quality is concerned compared to the boxes that I get from Uline. These are great. Let's see if I can pull one out without taking the whole thing apart. So yeah, this is just literally the same type of box. And this is great. So I got a variety of sizes for different products that I'm going to be shipping. And as you can see, everything is packaged nicely and they're all secured together. So I love that. And they even have a box, and I think it must be in the other package that I set on the floor. So I'm going to start selling reed diffusers. I'm actually going to be selling them in a white box. This is just sort of like a, you know, where I was like testing and figuring things out. But I found a box that this will fit very nicely into, so that if somebody buys one of these, it's going to be, you know, just slightly bigger than the package, so I don't have to worry about it being in a big box and getting thrown all around. So I'm really happy about that. They have a whole variety of awesome sizes. So you know, if you go on there to set up as, you know, buying, and if you are a registered business and you have your tax exemption, you can definitely send that to them so that when you purchase these, you don't have to pay tax. You should do that with all supplies you're buying, whether it's your candle supplies, shipping supplies, whatever it is that is going to go from your hands on into the customer's hands is tax exempt. So always reach out to whatever company that you're dealing with to see about getting that exemption on file, because you don't want to have to pay taxes on something that you shouldn't be paying taxes on. The other thing is that I know when purchasing from Uline, a lot of times to get a good per case pricing, you have to buy a ton of boxes or whatever it is. So I feel like with the Boxery, you don't have to do that. You can buy in quantities of 25 is the majority of what I purchased here, and the prices are really good. And so I was curious to see how they stack up against Uline. So for the boxes that I already purchased, now I didn't do this with the honeycomb. I did not do this with the big box of the perforated paper sheets. I didn't do it with that. I'm just talking about just the boxes that I have purchased off of Uline and that I've purchased here. So we're talking apples on apples, same size, same type of box. I went through and I added everything up, and it looks like for 5 different sizes of boxes, those 5 sizes of boxes from Uline cost me $129, and the exact same 5 sizes of boxes from the Boxery were $99.71. So that's a savings of $29.29. Now that may not sound like, ooh, you know, but it is, because it all adds up, you know. Why should I pay almost $30 more for the same thing when I can get it from somewhere else for a lesser price? So if you are a Uline shopper, I am not saying don't continue to shop with Uline. I buy certain things from them, of course. But when it comes to, you know, things like boxes, stuff that you are buying where you can compare apples on apples, the same product at 2 different places, definitely shop around and see, because there is absolutely no point in paying more than what you have to. And the thing is it might be $29.29 here, but those amounts over time add up, and you can see a pretty good savings at the end of the year. So same thing, I think, with like your jars that you're using, or, you know, just whatever kind of materials, your wax, your fragrance oils. You know, some fragrance oils from one company might not smell exactly the same from another, but buy samples from everyone, you know, of the same scent, and see who has the best price and if it still smells good. Are your customers going to know if you're changing, you know, your fragrance oil supplier? All of those little bits of savings definitely add up over time. So I am so happy, so grateful, and thank you again to the Boxery for sending me these. You have seriously just gained a customer for life, because I am all about trying to save some money, and I'm all about getting a good product. So I will have their website linked in the description below. If nothing else, just jump on and check it out. Do a little quick price comparison, you know, and make sure when you're doing your price comparison that you're taking it all the way to the cart, all the way to the checkout. Don't actually check out, but you want to see what the shipping costs are going to be too, because that also is, you know, impacts your final price. And that's with shipping prices included in here. Mine was a total cost to get the product from their location to mine. So jump on and check them out. They've got a lot of great stuff, and I think that you guys will be happy. Like I said, I mean, these are going to do the job. So, and again, all right, so your logo stamp, like I said, I got mine from Zazzle. This is so perfect to take a plain, boring box, no offense, Boxery, no, and put your logo stamp and stamp it right on the side of the box. And then when your customer gets their order, they're like, oh my gosh, they pick it up and they know right away, this is Round Town Candle Co. I got my package. You know, it just adds that little touch that just really costs nothing. For the cost of that one stamp, you can customize all kinds of shipping materials, packaging, tissue paper, whatever it may be. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you are not already subscribed, I would love it if you would do that. And definitely go check out the Boxery and let me know what you guys think. And also, in the comments section below, if there is another company, whatever experience you have had where you started out with company A and then you shopped around and realized that company B had your same stuff at a better price, share that. So this is how we can help each other out. So definitely share your savings, or your tips or tricks or whatever you've got in the comments below. I love to engage. I love when we get to chat about this stuff. So definitely do that, and I will see you guys on the next video. Have a good one.